Hello guys, and welcome back to my journey of me building an affiliate website using Django and Wagtail content management system. In previous video we have already and finally make it work. So the Wagtail content management system is up and running, and now I can finally develop into the Wagtail content block models. And what I want to do is I want to create my first content type. That means it will be some kind of a blog post type of page that will contain all the important part of the blog post, such as it should have an H1 title, it should have at least multiple H2 headlines, a paragraph, a blog for images, and maybe a blog for code. But I'm not sure if it's worth to edit right now, because I want to understand first how Wagtail models works, and then we can add more and more content types into existing pages. So let's get into it. So in Wagtail, each page equals to a content type. And a content type is equal to a Django model, which is only a representation of a database model underneath. So according to the tutorial, each page model has inherit Wagtail core models.page class. So all page types are Django types, and we can use the field type that Django provides. That means numbers and other data models that Django provides out of the box. And it also have a rich text field in case, for example, if you want to add rich text with HTML inside the field, which I don't recommend by the way, because it can mess up your design. I don't want to rely on what you see is what you get editors. I want to structure my content precisely as I want to, based on content types that I can style later with CSS files. What does it mean for me to create a Django model is that each content type will be a separate table inside our Django database, and each table will have its own set of fields. So if new article has the title, the table for the content type for this new article will have a title as its column. Now if I want to create a new model, I can add a new model.py file into existing applications, or I can create a totally new applications. I don't think it's a good way to add content type for Wagtail into a homepage application. It doesn't make sense. So what I want to do instead is I want to create a new application especially for my Wagtail content types. So give me a minute and I will create the application and integrate it into my current Django installation. And because I don't want to repeat myself in this journey, you can watch one of my older videos where I explain how I have created a new application in a current Django installation. So I will have a brand new Django application ready in 3, 2, 1. As you can see, I have created a new application called Content. I also added into installed app list. And now I'm ready to add new content type models into models.py. So under the django.db import models, I will import the necessary libraries from Wagtail. I will create a new class and call it a blog page. It will be very simple. I can always delete it later. And class blog page is a type of a page. So I need to import the type page in from Wagtail core models, and I will import the example of this class from the tutorial, which means the blog page will have a body, which is a rich text field where you can save everything from strings to HTML elements, practically anything. Then it will have a date of the post of type date field, and we will call it a date, and an image field. which I think I will remove for now because I don't need the image yet. Then under the database fields, we have the definition of search fields, and we want our page to be searchable inside the Wagtail admin by body and by date. And after defining the search index, we want to configure the field panels, which I think is the definition of what we see in the Wagtail backend. Content panels and promote panels are not clear for me, so probably I won't need any promotion, so I will delete that. And I don't want to have any related links yet. Or you know what? I will leave it be, because maybe I want to change my blog post. For example, I have a parent blog post talking about, for example, quitting coffee, and then I can create another blog post that is related to the parent blog post that will talk about quitting coffee in a week, for example. Yeah, that makes sense. And lastly, there are parent page subpage type rules. So parent page types takes as an input parameter a list with the blog.blog index as a value, while subpage types, this is just a blank array. Okay, I will leave it as it is, and I will just import the rest of the missing field types and functions. So we have imported the index from Wagtail search, we've imported panels from edit panels, we have imported panels from admin edit handlers, and we have imported the core Wagtail field called rich text field. Okay, I think that's it for now. Alright, just another comment to the search fields. Search fields function enables the full text search for your blog post column, and filter fields, it enables a filter for filtering by, for example, the date. So if I include ID column, then I will probably be able to filter by the ID of the post, which is very useful. Then we had the editor panels in the settings, and we call it content panels. And here there are three types of panels. First is content panels, that includes main body text. Then promote panels, that includes metadata, text, thumbnails, images, and SEO titles, practically all the metadata of the blog post. And settings panel for setting of the blog post, such as publishing date and maybe revision or something like that. So what's important for us is that all three panels are important, and most of the content will be defined in the content panels and promote panels. It only applies if we have really simple content blocks such as rich text field. But if we use stream field, which is the main advantage of Wagtail, then we have to use the stream field panel. So we will hopefully get into stream fields later, but for now field panel works just fine. Then Wagtail has something like structure panels that helps you to structure your basic panels. So there's multi-field panel that groups other panels of the same type. Then we have inline panel, which is used for inlining chart panels, and field row panel for organizing multiple fields into single row. So I think if I would want to structure my panels in any way, for example, if I will want to outsource my content and give it to my virtual assistant and telling him, hey, just follow the structure of this content type, then I could make it easier for him to go from one panel to another instead of jumping from, for example, image to headline to content body. And the last type of panel is chooser panel, which we didn't use yet because it works like a modal window where you can choose certain types of content, for example files, images, etc. And I see that they allow you to choose also the pages or documents or even snippets. So to use that, the model being linked must be either a page, image, document, or snippet. Yeah, makes sense. To link another type, you should use field panel. which will create a drop-down box. Of course, we can customize the editing interface even further, but for now, just for demo purpose, let's skip it. Then there's an explanation of parent page, sub-page type rules, and one of the rules might be if you want to limit which page types can be created under this type. And by this type, I mean the existing page types. Okay, the rest of the tutorial is about templating and template specific guidelines, which is far from what I want to achieve in this video. In this video, I hope to just create a content type, migrate all the database objects so my content type is materialized as a tables and columns, and hopefully I should see those tables in the Wagtail backend. So I will try to migrate Django right now and see what happens. Alright, it seems like migration failed because blog page has no attribute related links. Oh, I didn't know that this is a mandatory, so let's add related links back to our example. Now it should work. Inline panel object has no attribute field name. Okay, I think related links are tied to the images, so I don't essentially need any related links yet. So hopefully now it will work if I remove the related links content panel. Another error, invalid parent page type settings for no installed app with label block, of course. So there's error in the syntax as the parent page type. Here I should add name of my application. So because I don't have any blog application, it fails. So instead I should replace it with application content. Another error, app content doesn't have a block index model. Alright, because there's not mention of block index in the tutorial, at all, I will delete it and leave it as blank. What about now? No migrations to apply. It's very strange. So yeah, I forgot to first create migrations. I have created the model blog page, and now I will migrate the model with migrate. Cool. Let's check dbeaver and look at our Postgresql database. And here, as you can see, a new table content blog page was created, and the table is totally blank because we don't have any content yet. And we can see that the table has its own unique index called page ptrid, which is very strange. It has the body, which is of type text, and it has a date column of type date. So apart from a strangely named primary key column, there's nothing unusual. And if I now refresh the Wagtail admin dashboard, I hope I will see my new content type. So I'm inside my Wagtail admin, and all I see is the pages, and in the pages I should be able to add a new type to the page. I hope I would see big button called add new page here, but I don't see it anywhere. Well, apparently there should be a way to select my new page in the menu when I hover over the page menu, as you can see in this example, but instead I don't see my new page. I just see the default Wagtail page that came with installation. Alright, I will leave it to another video. But to summarize what we have achieved today, we have created a new Wagtail model, a new page with the body and a date, and we migrated this Wagtail page to our Postgresql database. So I'm so close to create my first content. I just need to figure out how to enable my model in the Wagtail backend, and once I do, then I will share with you my findings in the next video. So if you like this video, smash the like button, share in the comment below if you know the answer, or if you have any thoughts on Wagtail models. Subscribe if you haven't done already, and see you in the next video.